Well, I'm Daniel, and welcome to my YouTube channel. We here at the channel are continuing in our series of videos with respect to education, information, inspiration, guidance, advice. And I want to talk a little bit about fear, and specifically a verse in Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 8. This is when the Jewish people are about to go into battle. The priests and the leaders and they address the troops. They say, don't be afraid, don't be worried. God will go into battle with you. It's going to be okay. And then an interesting thing, they make these announcements. If anyone has built a house and hasn't had a chance to move in yet, hasn't dedicated a house, go back home. God forbid you should die in battle and not have a chance to move into the house you've built. Anybody who's planted a vineyard who hasn't had a chance to harvest it yet for the first time, go home. God forbid you die in battle and don't get a chance to harvest the fruits of the vineyard you planted. Anybody who's engaged, who has a fiancé but hasn't married her yet, go home. God forbid you should die in battle and not get a chance to marry your fiancé. And then it says an interesting thing. It says, who is the man who is fearful and faint-hearted? Go home. Let him not melt the heart of his brethren as his heart. In other words, fear is contagious. If you're fearful, if you're faint-hearted, God forbid, other soldiers shall become afraid and paralyzed with fear like you. And that person is also sent home. His anxiety overwhelms him. And he's sent home because his faint-heartedness, his fearfulness, affects those around him. It was the Tchortkover Rebbe was once asked by one of his Hasidim which shul he should attend. He was going off to another city. He wanted to know, which shul should I go to? In this community, there was two synagogues. One was a very large synagogue with proper Aron Kodesh and things on the wall, and it was a real Kiddush Hashem. It looked great. There's lots of people. The other one was a small shtibel, a little hole-in-the-wall place, a bunch of tables and chairs, maybe 20, 30 people. But there were primarily Hasidim there in this tiny little shtibel. And the Rebbe responded that whichever shul has a member who prayed with a broken and a contrite heart, that's the shul in which you should daven. And he supported the answer by this pasuk, Deuteronomy 20, verse 8. The man who is fearful and faint-hearted, let him go, lest the heart of his brethren, he melts the heart of his brethren like his own. Why this verse? A person who is faint-hearted, who is devastated by fear in battle, is sent home because of his negative effects on those around him. Certainly, if there is a shul, if there's a synagogue, and there's a member who is heartbroken and has the fear of God, maybe that effect will be all-encompassing. So if there's a guy there who is broken-hearted, contrite, has the fear of God, Yiras Hashem, go to that synagogue. Maybe that will be contagious too. We're going to be doing more stories along these lines. Please come back. Please watch. Please learn. And until next time, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.